Hey yeah, sassy crew! Did you know that you can permanently boost your stats a little by cooking? Or that battling monsters of a specific area doesn't influence the Elder Dragon that is being spawned? In this video, I will be showing you some useful tips and even some you perhaps didn't know about. As always, I'd always appreciate your support via likes, comments and hypes. Hypes are mobile only. Now then, it's time to present to you 18 very useful tips to help you in Monster Hunter Stories 3, whether it's during the story or the post-game. There is something for everyone here. Cooking is not only a great way to gain temporary stat boosts to your liking, it also has another effect that is activated once you eat certain foods for the very first time. As you can see, when I cook this specific food item, I get the new flavor bonus for starting stamina. Comparing these two pictures, this stat does end up being higher in the end. And no, it's not because of the food effect itself, since that doesn't influence the specific stat. Thus, make sure to eat each meal at least once for the flavor bonuses. This includes the ones without any added ingredients as well. For some reason, honestly, I don't know why, Elder Dragons of their region are not guaranteed to spawn when you battle enemies of that very region. Instead, they seem to appear at random. Not even a rotation of Namiel, then 2nd, 3rd and 4th area Elder Dragon. So yeah, that's weird. You don't have to defeat the Elder Dragon to make the next spawn appear. Although, if you are only at the 2nd region, it might happen that the same Elder Dragon will spawn multiple times in a row. There is a weapon in the game that you can get very early on that lets you recover one heart in battle. And that is not only once, but basically every 5 turns if everything goes right. It's called the Magicka Charm Hunting Horn. Its crafting recipe is obtained at the location where they introduce the Poogie Hunt to you. And with how hard some boss battles can get, this weapon seriously saved me many times. If you ever find yourself struggling with a fight, some very clutch stats are the accuracy and evasion stats. Apply accuracy down to the enemy monster using the bow and buff yourself with dodge up. If you bring Ogden, he can also use his turns to raise your evasion stat so that you can focus on the other things. The monster is not hitting you. That means that you can save up on heals and you might also be saved from losing a heart. Maybe at one point you got in a situation where you wanted to defeat a bear of Felyne, but you couldn't do enough damage in time, causing it to run away. Well, if you switch to Korra as your partner right before hitting the bear of Felyne, she will always do an AoE bomb in turn 1, winning you the fight instantly. If you don't have her in your team, you can always use a barrel bump yourself. The side stories in this game give nice insight into your party members that are really appreciated. Furthermore, they unlock very useful things, such as trap recipes or even a Poogie signal. Seriously? Do them. They enhance the characters and give you nice things in return. Side quests are also pretty important to upgrade your gear potential. Some give out decorations, for example. Chests contain various useful items, some of which are decorations. As duplicates of the same decoration enhance the current one, so for example, a Evasion L will be upgraded to an Evasion XL. And while there are duplicates that upgraded to a higher tier deco, these duplicates are also the only ones in the game. So you need the chest to upgrade some decorations to their highest tier. So if you feel like it at one point, open the map, look around for the chest symbol. Every chest has some path to it that isn't very far away from the symbol itself. You can fight and thus retreat every monster in the game except for Elder Dragons and Deviants. Elder Dragons can only be fought by triggering a special event, and they cannot be retreated into a den using paintballs. deviants cannot be encountered at all. Meaning you can get every egg except those by just simply paintballing the monster. So unless you really need a specific monster multiple times, try to roll for Deviant or Elder Dragon eggs in a normal, rare or super rare den. Of course, you still gotta unlock these mutations or beating the Elder Dragon first. In order to make farming the retrievable eggs quicker, you can encounter any enemy you would normally finish off on the field and just paintball in the first turn, and then quick finish. They instantly retreat to their den. Preemptive strikes are just fantastic. They provide you with both free damage and a free turn. However, sometimes you might find yourself messing it up or even being surprised by the monster yourself. No worries though, the majority of the fights can actually be escaped from. Then just try again, the monster doesn't despawn. Note, this doesn't work for monsters in dens. If you escape or lose there, you get kicked out of the den and lose any egg you got from there unless you already got to the save point. But what if I told you you can still battle the den monster and be sure to keep the egg? Well, unfortunately, there's no getting around actually reaching the endpoint with the egg. But once you do, you aren't kicked out of the den, so you can actually just turn around and then battle the monster with no worries of losing the egg you just collected. Some monsters will buff themselves up and then you might think, dang, I'm so dead. Well, not really. A single debuff of the same status will completely cancel out the buff. Meaning, if, for example, Invasive Young Garuga buffs itself 3 times to get attack up large, you only have to apply attack down S to completely get rid of it. But beware, that also applies to you. Unless you're playing the demo or are doing a challenge, don't waste time on farming circuit gems, traps, and vital essences by farming nighttime dens. Through side stories, as well as just the natural story progression, you will be able to either craft or purchase them. To upgrade your gear, especially to max level, you need a lot of monster parts. Though some monsters are harder to find than others. However, there is a way to get more materials out of the same monster. And no, I am not talking about that food buff. Instead of just quick finishing it on the field, make sure to go into the battle and paintball it first. That way it will retreat into its den and you can get some more materials there. There's actually a really nice reward for getting all the Poogies. Problem is, while the game does tell you how many you have, it doesn't show which one you already collected. To make it easier for you, I suggest you get a picture or a screenshot of the map and mark down the place where you found the Poogie. Thus, you don't have to go through all the Poogie spots if you have a guide open later on. Make sure to fully upgrade your armor and weapons, as they reward you with a decoration upon completing it. Did you know that you don't have to fly through the Therabeads to get the rewards? You can also just simply shoot them from a distance. It counts the same as just touching them. To unlock mutations, you need to fulfill certain requirements. You don't have to guess them. The requirements are directly stated in your Monsterpedia. The last tip is one that is kind of huge in postgame as well. You know how it always takes half an eternity to just collect the eggs because of that shine and the dialogue afterwards? Well, there is a shortened version of the egg collection process. If you defeat the monster that is in the den, the post-collection shine and dialogue will be skipped entirely, saving you a lot of time. At one point in the post-game, you can quick finish every normal monster once you have reached around level 75 or 80 or something. If you are still in the story, you probably notice that those den monsters are often of the yellow or red variant and you can't just quickly finish it off. That isn't the case for monsters you retreated that were already able to be quick finished before. Also, the Bear Felyne event skips the longer dialogue as well. Now then, I hope that at least one tip wasn't already known to you. What kind of tips do you have? And how's your journey going at the moment? Thank you really much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!